Smile. Action. Ah. Breathe into your lungs. Live up here. Exhale with a little restriction. Do it again. Through the nose. Your lungs are up here. Exhale. Little restriction. Could be an F. So for now, inhale, expand. Don't do this purposefully, but when you exhale, the lungs want to collapse a bit. Don't let them just do that. Let them go away. It's called a costal breath, and it's fine. As you get good at this, you can exhale and keep some of this open. Makes it easier to take that breath through the mouth or the nose. As you get good at this, I just took a really fast breath because I was open. And the pressure in the atmosphere put that breath in this space. So this is showing us that our lungs are up here. People have a lot of very funny ideas about breathing, and they get you breathing down in your belly and lower, and the lungs live up here. And there's reasons for all these different kinds of breathing on the planet. This is a singing channel. This breathing we're doing right now is really just about breathing for life, meaning just knowing how to kind of fill the lungs. Part of what I want to talk about today is filling them even the next click, a little cha-ching that happens if you just keep breathing, but you think side to side, there's a little cha-ching. Oh wow, I didn't know I could get that much air in my lungs. It's really hard to do if you're collapsing, doing these belly breaths. And when you do the belly breaths, you have no choice but to start engaging all these different layers of abs to push the air out. Don't push the air out right now. We're doing a breathing for health right now, which is just slowing it down through the nose. Slow it down. Still breathing. We don't have to hold our breath, but just keep inhaling. It's too tight for singing. We don't want to be this tight in singing. And we don't probably want to be this tight every day all the time, but it feels good to breathe this much and feel what it feels like to expand this much. See, the space is open. I'm not arching anything though. If I arch, I'm just going to pull on everything. Okay? As I take this big breath, my shoulders come up because they're on top of my torso. I'm not lifting the shoulders. In fact, if I feel like I'm doing any of that, well, just shake them out. What I'm focused on here more than anything is kind of side to side, open this space up. And then ideally, not completely collapsing, or I'm going to have to probably really draw that breath in to get it back in. If I instead cha-ching, it feels really good. Feel that little extra breath come in. You're just helping yourself guide this breath into the lungs. Fill the lungs. What it really feels like to really fill the lungs up. What it feels like to fill the lungs up. That little restriction's nice. It engages some things that might not otherwise engage. I don't want to be technical today, but if you talk to a lot of respiratory surgeons, they'll say that the diaphragm only works on the inhale, which means you have to use a bunch of other stuff to get air out. I don't agree with him, obviously, as a singer. But part of the difference is, in their explanation, is pressure. In singing, it's all about pressure. There's always a pressure in singing. To make that happen, there has to be a pressure. Well, we're not singing today, but we can create a little pressure, a little back slap, and that's where that comes in. And you'll feel lots of cool action around here. This is the diaphragm, and if you're feeling action here, well, it's the diaphragm. If it's on the exhale, well, then there you go. Again, if you go too far, you'll get tight in different places. This isn't about being tight today, but it is about being full, and then slowing down that exhale, fill it up. Feels so good. Feels so good to find that little extra. Wham. Cha-ching. Nice. Cha-ching. I'm letting the ribs kind of come back in a little, not being uptight about any of it. If for some reason this happened, well, I wouldn't be uptight about that either right now. But just if you play with this enough, I'm about to say the word practice, but if you play with this enough, you'll find that little switch in your brain that kind of helps you keep this space a little more open and work from a little deeper than just the skeleton. It's one of the things we're doing today without getting too technical. It's just getting a little deeper. There's really a lot of ways the body can breathe. Breathing is very much a torso event. Lots of people have very funny ideas about it. If someone gets you down here pushing and pulling on things, for one, that's not diaphragmatic breathing at all. For two, it's just pushing and pulling. Let the body do it. It knows how to do it. But you can help a lot with the skeleton, with kind of the space, with the structure. So you see me, I'm getting tall from the back of the head. My hips are kind of in what's called a neutral position. So I'm not really working too hard to get them there, but I'm not letting them go this way, and I'm not pulling, and I'm kind of bringing them here. If I go too far, then I'm kind of going the other way. So just that. I'm standing right now. You could do this from sitting. If you do it from sitting, maybe come out on the edge of the chair. Feel what it feels like to have your sit bones deep into that chair. And then come up from the back of the head. Open the space. Here's another kind of neat thing. If you can do this, if you can make yourself yawn, when you do that breath, we'll go back to the mouth for a minute. Cool. We do that when you need to yawn. You yawn because your brain needs more oxygen. So this space gets more oxygen to the air. So as you're breathing, if you can do that and find that and practice that enough, play with that enough, and add a little to this move we're doing. You'll feel this whole space back here open up, kind of tilt back, as some would call it. Different terminology for all these things. The space gets bigger. Back in the old days in singing, again, this isn't singing, but sing as though there's an orange in the back of your mouth. You have that little drop, this whole space gets bigger. Get a little more oxygen to the brain. So play with that in a mirror. See if you can add that to this. It doesn't have to be there, but it's kind of a cool add. Cha-ching. I'm not holding my breath when that happens. I just am pretty full, so I just keep encouraging more and more. Cha-ching. Oh, that feels so good. Another version. There's a lot of these in the world. Don't probably encourage those too much because for some people that can get you all scorchy and dried out. Probably these. That's the F. Like a K. These are cool. Do a lot of this in singing, but with a tone, and we do it more controlled. When we actually know what we're doing, we don't tend to love to go as much as lovely controlled, but that's for another day and another subject. The tongue, if you can roll your tongue. You don't want any of these violent versions, though. Those get violent, go to something else. Go to this really gentle. Feel lots of action. Get tight in the belly. It's not the devil, but if you can kind of come out over it, get tall, maybe let some of that go. And the more you can keep the space open, you're going to feel more action up here. The magic diaphragm, which everyone really gets confused about. Again, we don't have to be that specific today. Open the space, though, is really today's motive. Slow it down with the inhale, which is the breath, the nose. In singing, I feel that that's too slow. In singing, I feel like that breath right there, which I just took it very fast. Silent breath through my mouth, pressure in the atmosphere. If this space is open, that will put that breath right there. But for our purposes today, I want to go slow, and it's a little noisy. Not too bad, because I'm not quite as stuffed up as I can be. I have a lot of allergies. You can do this for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time. Stand, look out the window at the beautiful sun or the beautiful rain, beautiful silence, or the beautiful wind, whatever it is. Very hard not to feel better after that much breath and energy's moved around your body, even if just for a couple minutes. 5's better. 10's even better. You can attach this to a meditation. Whatever your choice. Meditate on the breath. It's kind of noisy for a group meditation. Meditate on nothingness. Sit down on the drums and meditate on a little beat. I like that. All right, you have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me.